You know who you are, my brother C. Mad respect, for bringing me some very, very high potent, you know what it is, that dropper. That's very effective. Believe it or not, I don't buy that much. I actually got attacked one year for trying to acquire that. How despicable. But now the nutrients in my life are so rich. It's extraordinary how I eat, and it's amazing. I've been transient. I've been under trees mostly, and on the grass when I can. And it's perfectly fine. It's really quite natural, this dynamic of this relationship, so thank the Ascended Masters Collective. So let's see, today is September 12th, 2020, and I'm gonna give you I can't think of what else to talk about. I mean, the main theme of my last videos, about 8 or 9 of them, has been resonance and reciprocity. Shit, I'm near a road, it's so loud. It just never stops. Never tobacco, friends. Only the best high grade, alright? You see the tips? You see the tip there? It's a little messed up, right? And then this. So yeah, it went out, but whatever. Never ever tobacco, friends. Only the finest herbs, alright? Make sure it's crisp and bright green. It should be pungent, and it should be bright green. Never anything brown or anything dusty like that. And never mid-grades, alright? Always use your CBD oil tincture every day, okay? I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna show you. That way you see me doing it. You understand? Take a little Metamucil, some Echinacea, colloidal silver. Wow, so loud, man. Drink lots of water. Get that large 2-liter Poland Spring. You drink the whole damn thing, all right? And that's it, friends. I hate to say it. I was talking 3 years ago to one of my peers about the fact that the global economy is going to shrink dramatically if we could stipulate all our nutrients with herbs, fruits, and grain, right? And use clean energy to stipulate them indefinitely. You can use a water condenser. You can use electric heat. You can use solar power. You can use lighting if you want, or just the sun, of course. And my friends, we will never go broke. Sustainable infrastructure and development, we will never go broke. Make buildings that don't break easily. I like this OSHA class I took. They were talking about how reinforced steel frame buildings are on up and up. It's a very lucrative thing. So, find a way to get into construction, all right? I'm talking loud because I want to make sure you guys can hear me. I'm sorry, I told you I'm near a roadway. Anyway, so look, we're going to talk today, all right? I said a lot in the last 8 or 9 videos. I aired out a lot of evil demons. I talked about advanced technology. I talked about my role in tech and in art. You can go to my Twitter, at Malik Francois _, right? I'll spell that for you. At MalikFrancois _. That's it, all right? Recognize. I got to get some water, hold on. So the last 8 or 9 videos, I talk about everything, like my personal life, what I've been doing. Obviously, you saw Matrix Revolutions, right? I won an award for that. I did fucking Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio. Don't even feel bad, right? We work with Brad Pitt. I mean, those are basically my father's friends and my peers. So they don't even have to see me much. Our industry works better when we're diffused. The legendary directors are practically their own nuclear zones now. If they know where we're at and they can get to us easy and kill us, and if they can buy law enforcement or get to us nasty, they're gonna do it, right? I talked yesterday on my social media about a post I made recently. I said, quite frankly, you guys want to know 9/11? We want to know what it was about? I'll tell you, right? It was demagogues, about 4 of them, plus a couple others. Listen carefully, all right? Making a bid for power and immortality over the satellite industry. Ready? And the centerpiece was child sacrifice. Listen up. That's what it was, all right? That's what it was. And it didn't have to be anything else, all right? That's all it is. That's what September 11th was about, right? That's what leading up to those events was. That was the turning of the millennial and a lot of cataclysms about how we felt about technology, okay? So I did a lot in the last couple of videos. I mean, I think what I said really summed it up. I mean, I told you about, kids at Nintendo doing, radiator piping for Ferraris, right? So what's that joke about? You ready? Italian plumbers. You get it? I did this before, but you have to remember these, all right? Watch all my videos twice if you have to. I know I speak quickly, all right? But the motions is we have to resolve technology. So Islam and Imhotep. Shout out to all my scholars that do the real intellectual work of making sure that we present and we preserve knowledge, all right? Don't let anybody push you astray or vagrant, all right? We're going to talk about what being the owner is, about being the Lord, about dictating what happens in a certain space. You have to protect yours, right? New York City is a grid, and they're not telling you broke and stupid and homeless here. That's not how it works, all right? We are sublime with power. All right, we are robust. We actually have guilds we stipulate, and we've been doing them for thousands of years, oddly enough. I mean, garments, jewelry, masonry, metalwork, Everything from arts to engineering to medicine. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. They descended into the libraries of Egypt and Kemet and tried to destroy our libraries. That's kind of what set off the Crusades and created this multi-generational war over our intelligence. There are too few monarchical families amongst Caucasians for them to rule the whole world. No one group can do it, all right? That's why you have to wake up and present your art, your heart, your harmony, and your love, and tell everybody the truth about what you are and what you want to be. Ready, friends? That's the lesson here, all right? So, you know, language is very important. Read the whole dictionary, Merriam-Webster. You're going to see how there are certain linguistic terms that are essential. You must honor those. You must honor those. You have to know every word, right? In my early days, I was in the blog culture reading about all the old psychics and metaphysical gurus, and even Americans. You'd be surprised how many Americans are really learned and well-read. It's not about what race you are, friends. It's about the vibration of your consciousness. That's bigger than the pigment of your skin. You follow? So remain learned. Read every day. Take care of your health. Meditate. Reflect on life. Purge your suffering. Put things in perspective. That's why they use a paralysis nerve spray. If you're too honest and you know what happened and you just tell a man to a broom, they can't rule your ego with torture. You see? So MK Ultra is about torture. They want to use that guilt and your hurt inside of you and use that anger that you have to lash out at others and ruin everything in your community. There's going to be abductions. They're going to run up on you sometimes. Fuck them, man. You got to be the real one, Tenny. You might be the one, although you're not the only. So listen carefully. It was psychic powers the whole time, all right? So I purged all the guilt and hurt, all right? Watch those videos again. If I have to put anything in perspective reflectively, I'll tell you. But I'm going to tell you why things matter and what is made and what is real and what is consenting and what is loving and what is true, okay? Resonance, your vibration, purge all disease, elevate your consciousness, connect causally to reality. Make sure you have real answers. That's why kids, when they're 5 and 6, they keep asking why the nature of the universe, right? Being human means you enter into limited consciousness. You can't flow around like a god or an idea on the cloud or in the astral plane. You have to be present. You have to take one moment at a time. Everything from your disease to your consumption. It is a lower vibrational existence. We just got to deal with it, right? But there are ways to get to higher levels. And things we do in this universe are permanent, you see? Especially things you inscribe. I'm not talking about your physical vocation in your body. Our biology is actually a rental. You got to give your body up when your life is over. And then reincarnate and back into cycles of existence and do it again. But we need biology to give our higher dimensional selves, the part of us that is just energy in the universe, a vantage point, a distinct sense of self in the present, which is now, this three-dimensional reality. You see? It's really kind of 4D because we're always moving and there's different parts of us that are psychic. But the dimensional spectrum is about different levels of intelligence. That's what it is. You can call the dimensions whatever you want, but you'll see that the older Grandmasters stipulated already, right? Hold on. Wow. So what I was going to say today is I'm not going to talk about anything too negative today. I'm going to talk about nice things related to aliens. Because when I was a kid, I directed really a legendary feature in Japan called Robot Carnival, right? My whole father and his crew always had many films we did everywhere. Wherever there was money being made, we were flexing it, son. But my father wanted to explore my consciousness because he said that there are beautiful things in my mind. And he had already made lots of money. He was working with Akira Kurosawa to do Ran. You see? You see? We have a long history of this in my family. So, that's it. That's CBD oil, friends. You see? Take this about twice a day. It doesn't hurt you. I take a little at a time. I take it whenever I want, but, you know, about 2 droplets a day. The full ones. Half droplets, really, that's 0.25 milliliters. That's what you want from the real hemp extract. Don't let the government fuck with this shit. It's pretty indolent and silly how they'll try to keep us sick to rule our egos. Don't even fucking try it, alright? We gotta advance to the highest levels of consciousness. If you're minding that little gear for your hearth, then stay behind. Right? But we need to see the world do better. They're trying to sell us out to evil fucking... Don't even bother. I'm not even gonna. There's no enemies against us. I'll tell you what it is. So I'm going to talk about positive things related to extraterrestrial intelligence. I get drones, ETs visiting my house all the time. I could be outside walking, I see them shooting stars. Usually when there's multiple shooting stars, that's not an accident or a comet, friend. That's someone trying to tell you that I'm right here, you know, and they're making their presence felt. So make sure the energy that you project is very intelligent. Be ready to tell the truth. Be ready. Yes. Be ready to advance the consciousness, all right? So mnemonics, you want to know what mnemonics is? Okay, I talked about how satellites are family businesses. You have to find the consciousness of the one you're looking for and possess that child and say, your energy has been traveling through the universe. You won't survive alone. I'm your guardian. And that's usually a metallic orb or a very large spaceship. Sometimes they're small. Sometimes it's a group of them. But you got to understand, consciousness can take any form. It could be a piece of metal, or it could be a fully formed paranormal being, right? I don't like to use paranormal, but it's just energy systems, levels of intelligence and consciousness relative to energy. That's all it is. Okay, I talked about dimensional density and order, right? How smart something is relative to its ability to engage with reality, and how intelligent it is in terms of its role with everything else. See, you could be intelligent and skilled and have ability, but you could be wanton and falling out with everything around you. But if you have the dimensional density, you know how smart you are, and in order, you know how to relate to other things. You see what I'm saying there? So. But you can have dimensional density, which is you're very capable and you have the intelligence, but you can't relate well to other things, right? But order is your perception of what the world is and how to engage with it in a safe and reciprocal way. That's what it is. So it's always back to resonance and reciprocity, all right? Resonance is your vibration, honor your true self, be the best version of you can. And reciprocity is fair exchanges with others, right? Making sure you enact fair deals. That's why capitalism is a little funny. We end up in loopholes where we take advantage of each other. It really shouldn't be for our survival we do that, all right? Let's say you make a piece of art. I'll make art to compete against you. But we should both be making money and laughing about it. You see how that works? But when it's something like medicine or the oil industry or people's ability to travel or get, nutrients they need, that's a very bad sign that you could keep someone sick and even kill them just because they don't have money. So that's a scam, friends. There's planned obsolescence and there's innovation, right? You don't want to innovate limitation and scarcity. You want to make sure people have the right solutions. That's the point I'm making, all right? So I'm about 12 minutes into this. So what I was saying about satellites is that they stay inside of a family. And it's more than just a genetic lineage, because a lot of times it is. Families do build satellites. Sometimes families have many of them, or they just get smaller ones. Remember the Moabites of Canaan and of East Africa. We went from Morocco all the way to Jordan and Canaan and everywhere else, because Sumer and Mesopotamia claim that they also had, very powerful metal orbs and discs. If you look at the old Mesopotamian tablets, read Zacharias Hitchens, he tells you what it is. So we work with all these authors. We sell their books too. All right? So I'm going to put it in perspective. Listen carefully. These are old satellites. Some of them are made recently. Right? But the energy of intelligence in space is such that you have to find something that is a transmutation instrument. And there's all types of levels of intelligence. Robotics, I feel like physically don't engage with reality out of necessity. They do and remain learned. You see? So. But still, there has to be a reason to live. That's what I'm saying. The world is lived by the living. That's because our energy as humans, as biological creatures, is multidimensional. We peer into this universe from other parts of reality. So we use every expression of ourselves to do that. So you have to be willing, ready, and prepared to engage and be intelligent. You follow? So I'm going to show you how it works, all right? Intelligently. Wow, she's doing good. I'm going to show you how it works, all right? So mnemonics is about how there's always a kid that somewhere on planet Earth inherits a very powerful dreadnought called the Nemo. The Nemo. All right? It's everything from a satellite spaceship. It has everything on it, and it also has a lot of information. It has old reams of knowledge. So, you could work all the time with a vehicle like that. It's just that you want to live in a reality that allows you to stipulate that technology, you see? So if you're just Adam in the Garden of Eden, you may not know about this technology. You may not even be aware, right? Or he might, depending on your levels of intelligence. That's why the old scriptures are really telling you about a lot of things, dealing with metaphysics, time travel, advanced science, and you won't really be able to decipher it because it's sometimes written by people that are either channeling or having a seance or getting their information through psychic powers or some type of projection device in the old world, and they can't even get all the information clearly, or they know and they just can't tell you yet, you see? So you have to understand that everything in reality is like someone broke my hand. Everything in reality is an indicator or information about higher, more stipulatory levels of intelligence. You follow? So it's good to know and to be wise. That's a lesson. Good to know and to be wise. So we're going to make things make sense, all right? So that's what it's about. They're just very powerful satellites. Some are, and there are small ones. There are more. Share was another one. Some of them are autonomous, but then dastardly shit started happening on them. People were abusing them for the wrong reasons. You see? So that's what I'm saying. Don't be fooled. People have the ability to move around very fast now with more advanced technology, but it's being released slowly. That's the difference in you thinking it's being made now, right? Because this stuff has been around, right? Google has patents from 1969 about maglev triangles, and high-speed ones. So, check that stuff out. But I'm just saying, the fact that they're giving you a pump and a gasoline tank, they're kind of keeping you sluggish. You see what I'm saying? So, don't let them fuck with you. We were doing this shit for a while. So, I'm going to give you the intelligence. I'm going to give you the intelligence to live righteous. All right, I'm going to give you some options, all right? So, talk about the Nemo. There's a couple other things you need to know. What else? So, yeah, I mean, just look at it as, if you had a brother that was a little bigger or a little taller than you. If you had a brother that was a little bigger or a little taller than you, and he had different levels of intelligence, you'd look up to him, right? So that's kind of how certain levels of evolution are for different, I like to call them meta-terrestrials, because it has nothing to do with, what planet you're from, where you're standing. Most of the time, as evolution gives you more prowess, you start to looking for more intricate ways to relate to reality. Like, what if you could disappear? What if you could fly? What if you could be stronger? What if you could, whatever you feel are more advanced stipulatory genetics, those are interesting things. Species through evolution have evolved those, or at least explored them. This planet is not a lot like it seems. It really is what it is. It's just energetically complex. There's different ways to relate to it, So I'm just being very vague now, but there's a lot to say. So a book you want to get, this will help you a lot if you're listening carefully. Go to Google. Work for that company. Search for the term Azurite Press, the Amente Project. I'm going to spell that, all right? Give me a second. Somebody's doing something over there. Azurite space Press, Press, the Amente Project. TheAmenti Project. You get it? That's what it is, alright? Search for that on Google. That's what it is, friends. Alright, that's a big one. Get that book. They have two books called Voyagers. Get the one called Voyagers 1. That's the one you want. Get Voyagers. Read that book. That's an essential read, right? But believe it or not, the exopolitics of that community has changed a little. Things are different now. You follow? So sometimes energetically things evolve. Alright, so things change, that's all. So, I mean, that's a good one to start with. I mean, I'm just trying to think. They have a couple books, and Amazon has some good ones too. Stay loosely learned in the energetics. In other words, you don't need anything too complex. Start with the overall basics of what's possible, what's learned, and what's real. Give me a second. Give me a second. Anyway, yeah, I went back. So that's it, bro. Those books are really good. I mean, I'm just telling you right now that there's no iteration or version of reality where anyone rules over us. When people are making weapons, they're saying they're very desperate and insecure. And they're not using science and metallurgy to do better and to solve more problems. You see? So, I mean, you can make science fiction films about it. It's fun. It's actually a pastime because it's good. Men with adrenaline like that stuff. It gets you hype. But it's essential not to glorify violence because you don't really win with that. Cyclically, we remember those tragedies and we revisit them over and over again as tribes all across the globe. So nobody ever gets to tell a story where they dominate one over the other. Nobody gives a fuck about your crushed cookies and your pride, alright? Relate the context of your suffering correctly to your fellow man. If he cannot help you, rhythmically expand into other tribes. But be wise and be learned. And start small. and then build, right? The smallest mustard seed could rebuild the universe with the right level of determination. So don't sit around counting your pride, right? I mean, no one has to suffer for you if you know what you want. And most humans, energetically, we're small enough that you could live on a small plot of land and engage perfectly fine with your fellow man. So you don't need to be everywhere ruling everyone's ego, all right? Big, important lesson there, okay? But protect your tribe and make sure you do right. But like I'm saying, the scarcity on this planet is artificially engineered. Most people in this region are not really, not in this region, excuse me, in this levels of energy from our intellect. You guys are not stipulated to be gods, and you're not designed to rule everyone. That's the whole thing. Was we actually engage with genetics. Actually, when we come into reality as a collective of spirits, we choose compatible relationships. We choose relationships. Ready for this? That are reciprocal. That's what I want. We can expand. We can diminish our appetites and our determination, but we can always choose with this reality what it is that we want. So think of determination as a fifth dimensional word. It's about the hunger of how much you are accelerating your consciousness and reality, how bad you want it, you see? And what are you willing to do, you know? So that's what it is. Anyway, I'll tell you what it is. So yeah, that's a good one. Azurite Press is good. Go to Simeon7D.com. I'll spell that for you. SIMEOND. I'm sorry. SIMEON7D.com. Alright? That's what you want. Remain learned. So, friends, I mean, I don't know what else to talk about. I was talking about ET. Many of them are seductive. Unless they're really in a position where they're looking to be your leaders, they don't really want you to see them. You don't want someone around ruling your ego every day, but they don't really know. You don't really know what their purpose is, or yours relative to theirs. So that's kind of the whole scam here, friends. Be prepared to be your best self. That's what I'm saying. What else? I think that's it, man. I mean, I don't think I need to say much this video. Those two websites I gave you. What else? Those two websites I gave you are really good. I mean, I haven't really seen people losing to those. I talked about those before. I posted some of those links already, but I don't feel like I need to say much else than that. And I also want to go, maybe do some laundry before the laundromat closes. I might go do that. It's a good idea. Alright, Breggles. So, yeah, it's me, Bane, alright? Malik Francois. I'm in the Bronx, New York City, New York State, United States of America, 2020. End transmission. Brom Duckets.